Alright, let's see how this goes. We working? There we go. Always takes a second. Some things happened yesterday. First, important thing. I'll say this right now. Alright. Now, this was always going to happen. She was never going to be the nominee. But I support everyone who stands up to authoritative let's see there you go. Authoritative You don't have to like Nikki Haley more so than Joe Biden. But you should support everyone who stands up for revolt against authoritative, anti-democratic sociopaths. We should hold Washington D.C. and Vermont in high regard. See if I can move this along. There we go. Okay. I think this is pretty accurate. I think Trump supporters, most of them, are mindless pawns. But they are powerful. combine mindlessness with power, and you get fight for the soul of a civilization. That's why some people are so rightfully scared about the outcome of the next election. Because if you're smart, you'll understand the danger, and it's not a fear of wokeness. That's stupid nonsense. It's a fear of actual civilization decay, actual paradigm shifting towards hate and the infliction of pain against the against the less well off. They can dress it up however they like, but really, all they're setting themselves up to do is to spread hate and inflict pain against others they perceive. So you have a perception of lesser. Let's change that so it could actually be readable. We have to make it darker. Good. Nice. This right here, this is so powerful. This perception of lesser. If you think somebody is lesser than you, you're waging a very powerful weapon. And this is what Republicans do. Democrats do it to some extent as well. But Democrats do it along what you would call intellectual lines. So I'll write that. So Democrats will imply someone is lesser through I guess what you would say through lack of exercise. This is nice layering. I didn't want it to be here, but that's okay. Through lack of exercise of thought. Okay? Which I think is fair. I mean, at some level, you have to be able to call people out and use your best observation. Something isn't necessarily bad if it's founded in something. You can have a rooted attack and it can be justified. However, expanding your perception of lesser to include I would say include harmed people is morally wrong. In one instance, you're picking on people that have no other choice. And in the other instance, you're picking on people in a first world country who have all the opportunity to learn new things and expand their horizons, but otherwise choose not to because that makes them feel good. You see the difference there. That's why, at the end of the day, I praise Nikki Haley. So at the end of the day, let's increase this. At the end of the day, let's go to 12. At the end of the day, Nikki Haley can essentially smell danger. I think a lot of the Republican leadership just turns a blind eye. So I'll just say our leadership turns blind eye to the danger of hate. January 6th happened because people were angry because they were fed lies about a stolen election. But at the end of the day, that only got so strong because a lot of those people already had hate in their minds. Hatred for the idea that their ideals were not as popular as their little pond, small town mindset allowed them to believe. Some people are amazed when their conceptions of something are proven to be wrong. These people are the explorers, the scientists, other people. Let's move this up. There you go. Other people. So let's just say, we'll put this here. They love. I'll just say they love. They love new ways. It's very general. And then you have some people who are so frightened, so scared. So, I'll just say afraid. They're afraid that anything could be different than they already think of something to be. These people are useless and dangerous. They are prone to hatred. Let's see. Let's see. YouTube is so funny how it occasionally will work just fine and have no reporting issues. And then it'll go through a period of time where it is so delayed with its reporting. I really wonder why it's like that. It's interesting. Anyway, back to this. Hang on 1 second.
Are you doing something?
Yeah, be careful. What?
Well, I'm trying to.
Don't do that. What do you? Is it important?
Yeah.
I'll do it later.
Yes, Brandon, it's important.
I'll do it later. This is also a topic. People are angry because you are different. Not interested in normal, boring life. That's a theme of streamers. No streamer is interested in a boring life. The problem with that is you're gonna make certain people mad. You have to be indifferent. You have to not care. Back to this. That's funny. That's what you call I love this. I'm running out of space here. So many people do this, I don't know why. It's called useless. Oops. It's called useless. I did it again. There you go. It's called useless motion. How many people do you know just walk around with no purpose, up and down, not going anywhere? Let's see if I can move this along. Okay. Let's see. I want to keep some white space. So, let's start anew. Make sure to save. Stream 7. Let's change this to stream 0, and let's give this another name. Stream this might have been the first one. Actually, no. Is that true? We'll just say stream T 0 0. There you go. I don't know what I'm going to do with those, but we'll do something. I don't know yet. That's okay. Maybe. Yeah, that's okay. We'll go with that, I guess. This is interesting. Can talk about this, and I know it's correct. Because they just came from the doctors and discussed it. So, apparently, you let's see if we can. Okay, that's fine. Blow this up a little bit here. So you have situational and what he said was organic. Now, apparently, I didn't know this part. I didn't know this word organic as it relates to depression. But apparently, situational depression can cause organic depression. At least that's the way I understood it. Now, the way I understand this is most disabled people with an unchanging condition have a baseline or I should say have a depression that is, what's the right word here? That is kind of like a ground floor, kind of like a piece of them and I'll just say like baseline. If this blue was a little bit darker, if this blue-gray was a little bit darker, it would be Michigan football colors. So where was I? I wonder how many people are living with, I'll say, I'm trying to get rid of that right there. There you go. There you go. Formal diagnostics versus Who knows? Now this is interesting. Taylor Swift. And Emily Dickinson. Relatives. It would be cool. Hang on, I'm gonna put a sweater on because it's cold here. I don't like the cold at all. I have these nice North Face pullovers. They're pretty thick. Let's see where this is made. In ode to globalization. El Salvador. Should do some research on El Salvador. I guess I will. El Salvador is not a country I know anything about, so I could do some research. That'd be cool. I don't even know. I think El Salvador is in Central America, but I'm not even sure of that. I love the sugar infusion of cranberry juice. It's also bitter, which I like. Anyway, this is a different color. And I butchered that. Totally. I gotta fix that. Closer. Anyway, so if finishing this, cranberry juice. Bitter, like IPAs. IPAs are great. Anyway, let's look at El Salvador. That would be fun. I was right, Central America. El Chapo. I do not care about El Chapo at all. Not interested. We put so much attention into criminals. Study them if you wish. But I feel like the culture that we live in pays so much attention to the criminal and no attention and no attention no attention to their many victims. It's part of human behavior, but it's pathetic. Anyway. Alright, let's see. El Salvador. Let's look at a map so we can see where it is in relation to other countries. Okay. It's on the bottom. South. Is El Salvador the country that just put a bunch of, like, thousands of gang members in prison? I gotta look that up. Yeah. So I was right with the Central America claim. That's always good to be right. I don't like to be wrong. Anyway, let's look up. Let's look up the population. 6.3 million. That is small. Okay. Religion, Catholic. Cool. Okay. What was their flag? I would not have guessed that. Okay. What about their system of government? Comparative politics is kind of interesting to me. Just a little bit. You don't need to know my location. No. It's a presidential system, I guess. What does that mean? So, it has a president, and it's a constitutional republic. Sounds like America. Was that El Salvador that did that gang violence crackdown? Gang imprisonment. There you go. El Salvador's incarceration rate is now the highest in the world. Yes, okay, this is what I thought. NPR. Inside El Salvador's near 2-year crackdown. More than 76,000 people for belonging to gangs or being accused of being affiliated with gangs. See, this is also what I was talking about before. I know enough to get me somewhere. I always have a jumping off point. What kind of... That's like the benefit of being thoughtful. See, they take away all of the good images. Foreign Affairs Review. See, this is the thing Americans don't understand about immigration and the whole asylum seeking asylum seeking part of this entire immigration issue. Okay? When you see United Nation United Nations forces slash police in your country that is a sign of systemic failure. This is what Americans don't understand because they have no perspective, even though it's easy to gain perspective with the internet. You don't even have to live in a country to understand what's going on. To some degree, anyway. Americans are never in a position where they have United Nations forces within their country monitoring some unrest. If they did, maybe they would understand why so many people are trying to flee to a more stable environment. It's like this, okay? In the physical sciences, runs on this, okay? Molecules I spelled that wrong. Yep. Molecules move in a way to lower their energy state. They're in a sense, let's do this up here. They're in a sense searching for stability. Okay? That's a fundamental principle of nature. People do the same thing. They search for stability. Now, everybody does this a little bit differently. But this is what people do. So, if they're in an area of chaos, they're going to try to move away from that area. Assuming that they are not the bringers of that chaos. Assuming they are the victims of the chaos. They're going to search for stability somewhere else. So I don't understand why Americans have such a trouble understanding this concept. It's really not difficult. They're going to move from an area of high instability to low There you go. Maybe I misspelled that twice, I don't care. I don't understand why Americans can't understand this. It's just because they don't want to. Okay. Cool. Where are we now? Oh, there's something I wanted to look at. Yes, okay. Let's see. 2024 Republican primary, Vermont. Let's see how this played out. She got 50.2%. So that's like 4 points more than Trump. Not bad. Good work. Too bad it wasn't enough. But I guess this is what the American people want. So, give them what they want. Let's see. This might be interesting. Let's see. About life. Let's see. Give me something good here. That's dumb. So much of the internet is dumb. No. Well, this didn't really work the way I wanted it to work. That's okay. Let's try again. No. Okay. Well, it's always good to know what doesn't work. There is one thing here, which is I can do. I don't know if how easy it would be to find. Let's see. Um, what did I call it? Um, oh, I remember. There it is. We'll get the description of this because I typed it out. It's short, but I like it. I don't like when people write so much that they lose the impact of what they're saying here. But this is just what I wrote, and in the video, basically just me reciting it. I wrote another one, or started writing another one. It's on my phone. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah, let's see if I can pull it up. I love Samsung Notes. Samsung Notes is really, 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 really amazing. Let's see. Oh, here it is. It's got a couple lines. I think the title of it, once I finish it, will be Polarity of Mind. It's got a couple lines. Say, don't be afraid of what hides in darkness. Be afraid of what light reveals. And then I say, don't be afraid of change. Be afraid of unfixable problems. And then say, don't be afraid of the passage of time. Be afraid of undying thoughts. And that's what I got so far. I think it's pretty good. Maybe I'll continue it. But we'll see. It kind of reminds me of the episode of Boy Meets World where Sean writes this really nice, really awesome poem with words that people don't even know. And essentially it shows that he was way smarter than anybody thought he was. I think that's pretty cool. It's always cool to surprise people when they have no idea what you're even talking about. I think that's pretty cool. It's the expression. Whoa. Oh, okay. Way above people's heads. Some things, when you try to describe in simple terms. So, everybody says that you should try to describe things in simple terms. But I believe that simple terms robs a subject of its beauty. And I think that's wrong. Beauty comes from hardship and complexity. Society is no longer beautiful. It's clone-like. It's gonna be pretty gnarly when smartphone transitions into a personal robot. That's gonna be pretty gnarly. Could you imagine? This would be funny. Robot recalls defective machines. It's like accidental murder or something. That'd be kind of crazy. An hour and 12 minutes already. Save. Stream 8. Cool. I'll make another one. Okay, that's fine. There's the notification from my Iceland subreddit in Icelandic language I don't understand. NASA concerned as Voyager 1 sending back incomprehensible code. You know what? Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 Voyager 1 and 2 are the greatest accomplishment of NASA. The greatest accomplishment of NASA is not landing on the moon. It's Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Distress soars at small U.S. colleges as enrollment declines. Bloomberg. Okay, let's talk about this. College. Now, there should be a standard high school test. Everyone takes this test. If you score high enough, you are eligible to go to a public college. If you do not, then the private sector is available to you. However, the way that the United States currently does college is kind of insane. Other countries do it this way. I know the Philippines has a system like this. You score high enough on a test, and you're eligible for a public university. This was interesting. So, CNN did like a 15-minute breakdown of this. Okay. There's always a benefit to being college educated. They make more money and they live longer. They also hold different political values. So, I can see why it's advantageous for some people to not want to push college, because then they might not get the votes that they need to stay in power or be in power. But higher education should be a human right. See, this is an example of a kind of useless short that got some traction. Now, I guess it's kind of unique. A person with cerebral palsy shooting a crossball. But for all intents and purposes, relative to my other videos, it's kind of useless. However, if people like it, then okay. It's not like it required that much effort. However, this video, which I really like, didn't get as much traction, obviously. However, this is a really important video. Metaphilosophy, an argument for limiting the scope of philosophy. That's a really important video. I hope in the future, as more people watch my channel, that this series videos eventually outweigh the non-serious, more entertaining videos. That's my hope anyway. I mean, just look at this. This video is 51 minutes. And I remember doing this, and there's some really nice thought that went into this video. So I hope it gets more say in the future. That would make me happy. And yes, I do look very granularly at things, so I do notice when a video gets viewed like that. I take note of it. Where was I? I was over here doing something. I was talking about higher education and human rights. Let's see. Do I want to get into that? No, I don't want to get into that. Okay. 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 I'm just looking at some news here. See if I want to talk about any of it. Oh. That reminds me of something. It says AP News. Charges are dropped mid-trial in Hotel California lyrics case. Hotel California. Hotel California. Best song. Best story. That's pretty hard to argue against. It's very poetic. It's engaging, yet downer. I can't really think of another song that really matches that description of being as poetic as Hotel California and telling that much of a story. And it's not very repetitive either. A lot of modern music. So modern music, repetitive lyrics, to the extreme. They come up with 2 lines and then somehow make 2 lines an entire 3-minute song. It's kind of insane. This is I don't understand how this works. This is dumb. From a renewable energy article says Europe may slap retroactive tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. I hate the idea of retroactive tariffs. This should not be allowed. If you're going to impose a tariff, do it from the jump or don't do it at all. It's like this. The moment has passed. Pick something else. Hmm. Guyana beats Venezuela in oil exports during border dispute. This is the only thing I'm going to say about this is that I hope the global South can get to be a big player in the global market. Right now it's not, and it needs to be if any of the violence problems are going to be fixed. Here you go. Global inequality causes crime. Think about that for a second. I'll have to watch on replay. Yeah, sorry for not. See, this is one of the flaws of streaming is I don't see these comments till much later. But yeah, you can always watch on replay. What do you think of Pink Floyd? Uh, Pink Floyd's okay. I don't know much about them. They're okay though. Is made dull. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It's 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 like the thought I had on crappy American beer yesterday. How it's all flavorless Bud Light and Coors Light because the masses like flavorless beer, and I tied that into losing the soul of a country when you try to appeal to all the masses, you lose the uniqueness, and you eventually become a plastic culture, and that's where we are right now. So that's cool. What's a good Pink Floyd song? It's got is it, it'd be like, is that Stairway to Heaven or is that Led Zeppelin? I don't know. I don't know much about music. I like there's one classical piece that I like. It's called Chaminade, I think. It's pretty flute heavy, which is nice. But I mostly listen to like indie music. Um, oh, what's it called? The song Skinny Love, I think. And then there's Lumineers. The Lumineers are pretty good. And then there's some 90s bands that are good. I even think some of Taylor Swift's music is good. Like, if you go back, like 13 years when she first started. I like that music. Um, yeah. There's some rap too that I like. There's what's it called? I think it's called California Love by Tupac. I like that one. Uh, Ed Sheeran is good too. I mean, they're all really skilled, but modern music is just not that great. Let's see. Yeah, Mitch McConnell endorses Donald Trump for president. He had every opportunity to kick him out and never have to deal with him again. It's gonna be pretty funny when George Santos goes to prison. He wants a plea deal so badly. Maybe he'll get one. Maybe he won't. Who knows? Someone on another streaming platform yesterday said he watched some of my YouTube videos and he said that I'm a very interesting man. So that's why I put that as the stream description. As some people think so. Let's see. Um, let's do this. I want to know what this is. Um, I want to know more about this term because it's kind of new to me anyway. Let's see if we can get any 3 types of dissociative amnesia. That's interesting. That's so interesting we can read about it. Actually, that's not that interesting. Depression and epilepsy. Why are those two things together? Guess if your brain is having electrical issues, so much so that you have a seizure, then it could play a part in depression for sure. I don't know if that's what they're getting at, but how does this have anything to do with with organic depression? I don't know. Hyper saline anoxic water. Yeah. No oxygen down there. It's pretty cool. if you search any of the creatures that dwell really deep on the ocean floor, they look really, really, really cool. They're like, this is cool right here. Extremophiles. There you go. Let's first get the definition. An organism that is able to live in extreme environments. Environments with conditions approaching or expanding the limits of what we think is possible to live in. See how I just added that? I don't actually know that's what they said, but that's what I'm going to go with, because it's close enough. Cool. I like this. When you go here, I think it says it's live. No, it doesn't. I thought it did. That's a bummer. When you set something up and then it turns out it doesn't flow. That's okay. That is okay. Anyway, back to extremophiles. Usage rights, Creative Commons license. You take away all my good pictures, bro. All of them. Extremophiles. Probably in Yellowstone National Park. Right? The salt ponds. Yeah. The hot salt ponds. What is this? Barrow, Alaska. And ice thickness measurement. Yeah, that looks miserable. That looks so cold. What is a G index? No idea what a G index is. They look so insignificant, but they are not. They almost look like they're barely alive. Maybe that's the trick. Be barely alive. That way you can survive any condition. That is really cool. Still looks very, very cold, but looks cool. This reminds me of I could write this down if I could find some space. So if anyone knows Professor Professor Dave on YouTube. He gets kind of big into dismantling people who say origin of life research is nonsense, and one of the people who holds that view most strongly is James Tour. He is anti, or I should say, I'll just say he's skeptical. Let's just say very skeptical. He's very skeptical of OLL. Anyway, James Tour refuses to believe that to put it simply, that life of any form could have arisen from any of these heated pools, because he believes that if I understand him correctly, he believes that you cannot, or nature will not make the proper chemical molecules that would allow such life to exist. He talks a lot about peptide formation and how certain things are impossible. But there's plenty of research that suggests that he holds the minority opinion, and that it is very plausible that life originated from these steaming pools of water. See, again, I'll write this down again. This is a theme. I know enough to get somewhere. You don't have to be an expert. Just get somewhere. Of course, it's great to be an expert, but I think only a small percentage of people are actually experts in anything. I think to be an expert in anything is rare. Example, just because you have a job doing the same thing for 20 years, that doesn't make you an expert in the field. It really doesn't. If you haven't expanded your skill set or knowledge set, and you just do the same thing You're not an expert. An expert pushes boundaries. An expert pushes boundaries. And they discover. That's my definition of an expert anyway. Let's see. Yeah, you see? I like this. This video has now have more views than this unimportant video. At least in the last 48 hours. I like that. It makes me happy. There you go. Also, this is interesting here. This director unknown. It's always interesting. 3.1. See, I wish instead of 3,100 impressions, this was 30,000 impressions. That would make me really happy. That's such an important video. Had the opportunity to be seen by a large audience, that would make me happy. Maybe we'll get there one day. Possible. 7 and 4 is 11. 3 is 14. 32 minus 14. Cool. Let's see. Okay. Let's look up Pink Floyd. Usage rights. Creative Commons license. I do love this trippy prism. I really want to get a prism. I think it'd be cool to play with. It's like a scientist's dream just to play around with a prism. It's kind of like a kaleidoscope, but I think more fundamental, which makes it cooler. You see, you have your light ray hitting the piece of glass, separating the light into its component parts. It's nice. Let's see. There are quotes. How about that? Creative Commons. Always Creative Commons. Don't want a copyright strike. Let's see what we can find. Oh, that's Pink Floyd. There's a really cool song. It's this one. It's the Brick in the Wall song. I like that. I like that song a lot. It's got a really cool really cool music video. If I remember correctly, it's school children, and it's got a teacher, and it's very well done. I like it a lot. Very, very, very well done. Um, um, See, this is what I don't get about love. Love shouldn't hurt, okay? If it's hurting you, it's because you have an unhealthy attachment. I'm not a big fan of attachment. Let's write this down. Apparently, there's research that suggests that handwriting notes helps more with cognition than typing, which might be true, but I can't really see why. Like, just the act of physically writing something down shouldn't produce a difference in recall, really. I don't I don't really understand from a psychological or biological perspective how that works. Anyway, it, it reminds me of this. There was a study on dementia that said something like a huge percentage of dementia cases could be prevented if people. I'll write this down. How do you spell this? Dementia. Dementia prevention. If people used hearing aids, you could have a huge reduction in dementia cases. Which I understand the logic behind. I get that. It's a social aspect. But the reduction that they were claiming is absolutely insane. Think of something like, they said something like 80% of cases could be prevented if people would use hearing aids. And I just think something like that that's crazy. Anyway. We'll save this. And I'm starting to feel a little discomfort, so this might be close to the end. We'll see. Queen lyrics. Yeah, I'm not that interested in that. Okay. This would be interesting. Political. Oh, wow. Political. Let's just do this. Political quotes. Or political figure quotes. Here we are. Okay. Let's see what we have. Usage rights. Again, Creative Commons. So you can take away all my interesting options. I will be right back. I guess we'll wait to do that. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Political correctness is a movement with no supporters. Everyone is either against it or denies its existence. Let's think about this. I disagree with this. Why are you denying its existence? I don't think people deny its existence. Who said this? Barbara Emil. Well, I think you're wrong. If you don't read the newspapers, you are uninformed. If you read them, you are misinformed. I disagree with this too. This is not accurate. People like to be edgy. That doesn't make them accurate. I'll write this. Let me go over here. Yeah, okay, save that one. Good. Let me start a new one. So I'm gonna go here, here. I don't really like that color, but it's fine. Go here. So, edginess, let's see. edginess leads you to wrong answers. Okay, I'll be right back. Edginess leads you to wrong answers. Okay. I don't know who that is. So, we should move on. For a world where we are socially equal, humanly different, and totally free. Okay. Oh, I love Christopher Hitchens. Let's see what he has to say. I learned that very often the most intolerable and narrow-minded people are the ones who compliment themselves on their tolerance and open mind. Oh, that's funny. Congratulations, bro. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I think I said copulate, but I misspoke. Congratulate. Yeah. I can't even read that, it's too small. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Speak truth to power. Yeah. Too bad this dude was shot. Okay. Oh, cool. It's now 6 o'clock. Where was I? Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Yeah, that's true. Never mind the bird flu. Is being Republican contagious? Yeah, that's funny. Calvin Coolidge. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. I don't know. I don't think talent is that common. This is where I differ. This is where I differ from most people. I don't think talent slash skill are common. I just don't. I think they're rare. I think that's why you have so many mediocre people. Anyway, genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. That's true. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. There's some true words there. Too bad history kind of messed that dude up. It'd be easier to just react to videos, but I don't want to do that. Unless it's like a really useful video. But I don't really see much of those. I don't like that one. Oh, Tulsi Gabbard. Let's see if it's even. useful first. Yeah, this one's good. In the military, I learned that leadership means raising your hand and volunteering for the tough, important assignments. Yeah, always do important things. If you want to be an interesting person, you gotta do the important things. Most people are thereby uninteresting. Gandhi. What do I think of Western civilization? I think it would be a very good idea. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. It was probably plastic back then too. Gandhi. He deserved a better fate. Better fate. Um, let's see. Um, there's a cult of ignorance in the United States, and there always has been. The strain of anti-intellectualism has been a constant thread, winding its way through our political and cultural lives, nurtured by the false notion that democracy means that my ignorance is just as good as your knowledge. Yes, 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 yes. Isaac Asimov. Isaac. How do you spell that? Isaac. Anyway, that is very true. Democracy gives a false sense of superiority. Some complacency. Some complacency. We now have the opportunity of giving to the USSR its Vietnam War. Yeah, I don't care. You know, it would be interesting. I don't agree with this. If your life is changed by one book, you weren't a deep thinker. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. Yes. Yeah, that's true. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. I think newspapers get a lot of flack for no reason. I think if you can't make informed judgments by reading a newspaper, that's a you problem. That's not a problem of a newspaper. I don't like the hatred for newspapers and media. I think it's nonsense. I think it's a cop out. I'm gonna write that down. Hatred for, or hatred of media is a cop out. Use thought. The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. Okay. I don't have anything to add there. Education is our transport to the future, for tomorrow. Belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Oh yeah, that's why all the Republicans are crying right now. Because they're so unprepared for this technological present. They're upset that all the nerds of society are having more fulfilling sex lives than they are. That's really the source of the anger right there. You want to be real about it? Hatred stems from sexual frustration. Just being real. Cool. Now, 3 useful videos are in the top 3 in the last 48 hours. That's the way it should be. That's cool. You got the little live sticker right there. I like that. Let's see how many times it's been recommended. 128. That's uncalled for. Should be higher than that. But whatever YouTube. I won't be small forever. I'm much too interesting to be small forever. Let's look up. Do I really care about this, bro? I don't know. He showed up, so why not? Religion is a system of wishful illusions, together with a disavowal of reality, such as we find nowhere else, but in a state of blissful, hallucinatory confusion. Religion's 11th commandment is, thou shalt not question. That's harsh. I disagree with that. That's harsh. Alright, that's enough. That's enough of Sigmund Freud. What about Isaac Newton? More scientists should be quoted. Take away all the good quotes, huh? That's not cool. I don't like that. That doesn't help science communication when you take away all the good quotes. That's pretty lame. Science communication needs help. It doesn't. Don't. Stifle. Science communication. Science is already guarded behind walls of necessary complexity. Yeah. That's not really cool that they did that. But that's seems to be what Google does. Take away all your good options. Let's see how long it's been. 2.5 hours. That's not bad. That's not bad. We build too many walls and not enough bridges. Okay. No, this would be interesting. Uh, is that gonna be relatable or no? Let's just go with this instead. Oh, this reminds me of, I don't know if I talked about this before. I don't think so. This is funny though. This reminds me of Bill O'Reilly and Richard Dawkins. Okay. So, Richard Dawkins is talking about, I believe it was evolution or something. And Bill O'Reilly was countering with Christian religion stuff. And at the end of the day, Bill O'Reilly says something like, well, I'm throwing him, let me write this. Because it's just so funny. He says, throwing in with Jesus. When Richard Dawkins would say something scientific that Bill O'Reilly didn't agree with, he'd say, well, I'm throwing in with Jesus. Implying that I don't appreciate your science. I don't understand its complexities. So I'm just going to throw in with Jesus. Bill O'Reilly is saying things like, you can't explain the tides, which of course you can. It's just like, Bill O'Reilly's argument was so childish. This is what happens all the time. An expert talks to a person of bad intentions. Childish. And for whatever reason, society is drawn to the child. Anyway, it's about 6:30 now. So I think that's gonna be the end. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. I think that's appropriate. Unless I have something else important to say. No. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be the end. That would put me at 2 hours and 42 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Let's get one last look at this. And hopefully you learned something and it was a useful time. Let's save this. Okay. Stream 10. Okay. There you go. And with that, I'll say, see you later. Till next time.